here. Thank you for jumping on in. We're going to have a quicker intro for you. We will start at 10:10, so have no fear. Just a couple minutes less of the intro for you. So it's actually a win-win. Let's move on, BOOKMAP, and show you what's happening here. Bitcoin sliding away, 106,009. Can we get the break to the upside? Are we going to slip all the way down here? Are we going to get that rip back to the upside into that red? We got some red waiting for us there on BOOKMAP. Only time will tell. Let's get that music started. Let's get an intro running, and I'll be back in a second here before 10:10. We're going to nail it. 3 minutes. We're going to break it down for you. We got it. Squeeze coming, 107,000. Watching the short squeeze as we speak. Can we get the pump for Bitcoin? Three minutes, 10:10. We'll be ready to rock. We got you. Top of the news. I'll move that file onto the computer and off of the hard drive. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome. We bounce right back. Shout out to you beautiful people. We love you. We thank you so much for being here. And let's bring it back. Let's run that. Shout out to 106,900 for Bitcoin. Holding well above 100K. That's absolutely beautiful. You can't beat that, right? Bitcoin doing damage, doing what it should, staying above 100,000 on this beautiful holiday week as we head into July 4th week. Beautiful times to be alive. Shout out to my lifers. Shout out to everybody here. Get some water in you. Get hydrated. Let's start our amazing journey together. You can do it. I can do it. Together we can do it. I know we can. Oh, my square's falling down there. Push your squares up. Get yourself ready to rock. We got the suits and the ties ready to go, baby. Windsor knots, baby. Fatties. Shout out to all my beautiful people here on the live. Let's see what's happening to BTC and break it down. Bitcoin. Worst day to trade. We had Jolt's job opening. We have Jerome Powell speaking. Just a lot of up and down, a lot of manipulation. Anything could happen. Trading light, if trading at all. You know what I'm saying? None of those heavy winders. But let's see what's happening. I'm looking for a possible pump for Bitcoin back to the upside, though, as well. That's what I'm looking for. Seeing if Bitcoin can get this move further up. It just closed above the 200 moving average, which is a bullish sign for me. What my mind sees, though, is a possible kind of shoulder, head, maybe a possible right shoulder. So there could be some funny business in the next hour to 2 hours here, maybe even 4, before we start our ascent back to the upside. But it looks like they tested the waters here, grabbed some liquidity, and maybe headed back up just to the top of the range. Bit of, holiday weekend chop as far as I'm concerned. $107,000 holding pretty nicely for Bitcoin. So I see a move to the upside. I am personally in a long there for Bitcoin, up $142, 8%. It is ripping as we speak. I can almost bring that stop to break even or begin to kind of shave a little bit of the risk. Not too much, but just a tad. And again, as I said, 2 for 6. If it runs a little higher, maybe the chance I could run up to $1,000 in the day, but nothing crazy, not trying to change the world. And then that Solana trade I made on the live, I believe yesterday, still open, down $100. But if Bitcoin can continue to kind of give us some rippage, go sideways, there's a chance Solana can start to recover. I got faith in the bigger picture for Solana. I'll take some drawdown here. And again, only 161. Remember, it's like a $200 for $2,000. It's a 10-to-1 risk-reward ratio on the trade. So I can either make about $2,000 or lose about 180 or something like that. So it's a pretty sweet trade. So why not? We'll see what happens. I rarely do trade altcoins, though. It's mainly Bitcoin, right? Shout out to all my beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Shout out to anyone trading on weeks. I love trading on weeks. It's a pretty cool spot to trade. Check it out today to find out more at Weeks. W-E-E-X. Weeks, baby, Weeks. And I feel like I can't. Hold on 1 second. One thing I do see. Yeah, it cuts off the top there. I see, just how it is. Maybe I could shrink the banner at one point. But anyway, we'll figure it out a time. Shout out to all my beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for being exceptional. No, I'm just exceptional people. So Bitcoin giving us a nice rip back above 107,000. Looks like we could be in for some rippage back up. Strong move right now with a big candle. So, yeah, I was looking for a possible reversal. We got a bit of a tweezer bottom there on the 4-hour time frame. This is the bot. You think the bot would want to nail along? Looks like the bot may be getting in. Look, expected profit long, short. Expected bot may be looking to get into a long. Hasn't long since about 105.5. Sold here. Bot's looking for its next trade, taking its time. So Bitcoin. And you see my scribbles and my all my nice little drawings there. Beautiful artwork, right? So yes, I see a possible right shoulder here. So don't be excited or freak out if we get a little bit of a pullback back to the 200, maybe one more time for the bounce. It could be an inverted head and shoulder that takes us to Valhalla. No, you know what I mean? But it could get us the nice pump that we're looking for to the upside. Altcoins, some of them turning a big green. Astra and Z, for whatever reason, top of the lane. Mung, also a nice one. Hook Protocol, an oldie that I still actually hold from back in the day. Boba, doing some damage. Swing Bee, if you remember that. Route, some coins. Ran all in. right? Bunch of different coins we were looking at. Suka, if you remember that coin back, Nav, Umi, and not a lot of other ones really get me going there. Reef from back in the day, crazy. Algo, we got Hedgic. Traded that one on and off. KP3R, remember that coin from back in the day too. Wow, so many coins, so little time. XCAD, remember that puppy? Oh yeah. Hydra, Osmosis, Osmo, Jasmine, baby, Jasmine. Feg, feed every gorilla. My goodness, there's so many. So, 107,079 sitting here for Bitcoin. And let's see if the smaller time frames rendered us the move across the 1 minute 200 moving average. And that's exactly what happened here for a possible move. Very low volume on the little time frames too, suggesting we are tight. Actually, it's Kraken. For some reason, the Kraken feed isn't as clean as the Binance feed. Let's take a look back at that 1 minute on Binance. So yes, we got a beautiful bounce, came back below, got above it again, and that is a catalyst. The second a 1 minute candle closes above that 200 moving average, I start getting extremely excited for a long, and I'm ready to take that long all the way to dinner over here with the accent, the New England Boston accent over here. Hey, Alois, I think I'm growing a beard. Hey, my name's Peter Griffin. That's right. Yeah. Hey, Chris, let's go play baseball. So, can we get a right shoulder here on the 1 minute? You just might, which might end the party for a little bit. Give you some chop on the smaller time frame. See what happens. It's okay. That would be that right shoulder on the 1 hour time frame too as well. Everything would kind of, it would be nice if it makes a flag and continues up though. That would be beautiful. If we get this move here, something like this, we consolidate and we break out. But look out for that right shoulder. And watch price action. It's treachery today. I would not be risking a whole biscuit out here. Like the least I could lose today is maybe $200. You know what I mean? Not a big deal. So I don't want to actually, I'm not going to go too hard. I'm just dipping my feet in the water because that's what I do. I'm Sam. I can't stop. And I'm out here every day. So I'm going to test the water somewhat most of the time. But I know when to go hard and when to pull back. And that's kind of the key to trading. Shout out to everybody here. Follow me at CryptoLifer33 on X.com. I would greatly appreciate it. God bless each and every one of you for being amazing and spending time with the Lifer. We give you awesome updates. Although what I really like what's going on here too is a lot of the things that I say in the live, we compile back into an article, come back into an 8 to 12 minute read, give you a bunch of key insights, and show you kind of how I dissected the day, what I did, and kind of have it written down for you in a nice, precise, clear, thought, organized manner so you can kind of rethink what happened on the stream, but in front of you, written. It's a great way to relearn what I've been teaching every single week, to kind of get back in tune with my education, and to really propel yourself to another level. I think if you do this, it's going to put you to another level. You're going to be able to actually see what I'm saying all the time. Indicators don't work unless you do. Master the tools, not the noise. Be a lifer. There's deep insight in all of these, really, really well. Extrapolating a lot of awesome information that's being placed really fast. I talk very fast on the live, and I'd say a lot of stuff, a lot of data gets compiled, and it's great. But this is where you can kind of go back and reset and see what the heck I was saying and get a lot of insight from it. And when you see the written word too, it even helps you memorize and remember more. So jump on in. And God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you for sharing your most precious asset, which is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show. Thank you for your love and your support. Okay, moving forward. So Bitcoin, let's do our top-down analysis for BTC. I see just a present day move there on the 1 hour, but maybe the big time frames will tell us something different that we have to watch out for. So first things first, we did see a bit of bearish div. People were freaking out. Is this the top of the rally? I said, if it was the top of the rally, it would look something like this. However, I think we'd be a little more extended on the 2 week or the monthly too. And so far, everything is looking all right, and we're pretty close to the 21-day moving average. Another thing that tells me it's usually not the end of the road, right? Doesn't mean anything, but we had a pullback from the bullish div. You can say it happened, and then we had that mean candle last week that really spoke for itself. It said, hey, enough is enough. You know, the trend has been down basically for 4 weeks, and we're just going to put an end to that. We're going to plug the hole here. And now we're sitting kind of, you know, at this possible tweezer top. So Bitcoin could close Sunday night here, right there with a tweezer top, which wouldn't be the best. Agreed? Like, that wouldn't be absolutely the best. You know, that's a bearish. You know, whenever we close two candles together and one is red and one is green, I call that a tweezer top. And if it happens as such, that would be a bearish tone. Now, it wouldn't be the worst. We could just be coming back down 2 or 3, 1 or 2 more weeks, maybe even that week right there, just to break out of the rising wedge. And we're just kind of testing the waters here, getting ready for a bigger breakout. If you look at this, you would basically break out the length here, the algorithmic wick to wick there, into $169,000 on a parabolic move to the upside. Possibly even quicker, maybe somewhere by October 6th. Unreal, right? That Bitcoin could be $63,000 more than it is today in just 3 months. So, even if we do get a pullback, it's on the table there. Now, could it be the end of the rally? Are we starting a massive dump? I'm open-minded to think anything is possible. Anything I say, no way, that's not guaranteed. It couldn't happen. Usually something weird happens. So I always stay open-minded. I always keep a stop loss. I always risk less after I've already made money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've learned this the hard way from years and years, everybody, of being in the markets. And I've learned the markets are unforgiving. I learned that you got to pay yourself. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't think I'm saying you should be taking the financial advice, but I've learned I got to pay myself. And I can't over-risk myself. You know, and no matter how bad I want to get in and throw it all in there, I got to be a little more responsible than I was in my past years. And so years and years in the market have taught me to take less risk and more calculated risk. Like, if I'm going to take a risk, I'm going to take the risk at the right time for the right reason. You know, like above a 200 moving average on the 3-day chart after watching a coin for 3 months. You see what I'm saying? Then I'm going to make my move. I used to be so antsy, but like it had to be. But after time of being in the market, you start to learn that it never had to be. You were just pushing things a little too hard, a little too fast. You just had to wait for the market to kind of come your way, to come where you're, you know, for your positions to play out. But if you don't have a system and you don't have a consistent way of trading over and over again, you'll never be able to identify where you personally would like to take advantage of the market. And the market will mostly take advantage of you, right? 5-day chart too, looking interesting. Like, we're talking about being in this possible flag here that could break out to the upside. You can almost bring it very tight and you can say, okay, we're close. Like, this is just the remnants of the last, you know, maybe we go a little more sideways, but this thing is ready to break out soon. Just a little more sideways price action. The 3-day looks pretty interesting. Bit of a rollover on the stochastic. And no, they still look okay. Inverted head and shoulder, though. Could make that right shoulder on the stochastics RSI. And then we pull this down, and you can see we've kind of, you know, we're kind of in this here. Right? And so what I've been saying is, yeah, man, wow, possible tweezer bottoms there right now, though, which is pretty cool. And so what I do in real time is I look to find the answer with you. I could do this alone, come up with the perfect way to do it, and then show up all premeditated, you see? And that's how I thought it was going to be, and that's what everybody else does, really 90% of traders. But I said, why don't I just start doing this live in front of everybody and like finding my truth with them and like seeing what I see. Now, some people think I'm flopping around and flip-flopping. They can't take it. It's okay. It's not for everybody, but it's for the learners. It's for the mind that's the unjudging mind, the mind that wants to grow, the mind that wants to fly into another realm, the mind that wants to just, because we're here in real time, watching to see what could happen. We don't know. Neither do I. None of us. But we're going to push ourselves to find out, and we're not going to be afraid. We're not going to live in fear. And I'm okay. It's okay if I'm wrong. It's okay if, as I'm figuring it out, it's not perfect. Because the science is pushing myself every day to figure it out. That's what I'm teaching you. That nobody's a genius, that nobody's amazing, that nobody wins every day. It's a fight all the time, but it's about risk management at least, okay? And not over-risking yourself through, you know, wow, 106,007 now, Bitcoin's slumping. Looks like it could be starting to drop. So I'm just looking possibly to extend this and say, hey, could the 3-day chart come somewhere back down here to 105.5, right? And complete this. Now this looks, well, you know, if we take away the rising wedge here, this is beautiful. And if I connect these two, which is kind of what I do, I'm pretty, you know, I want to be really adamant about, well, that's the two trends. That's the trend line right there. So we would, you know, likely respect it. It says Bitcoin could come back down here on the 3-day chart to 105,000, which means in the next 2 or 3 days, we could be losing, you know, $1,500. Now, BOOKMAP also suggests that it's more likely we break out, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen for sure. And we could zoom in here and see there's some good liquidity down here as well, right? We got a red bar at 105,000, so that all agrees. Some of them are even sniping down at 102. The most red is above us, though, up 108.5 and 110,250. You know, wow, Bitcoin just got slaughtered. 106 to the downside. Something Jerome Powell said, something happened here, right? And again, remember, it's heavily volatile with him talking. It's almost, I'll be honest, it's probably better off not to trade at all and just let the markets do their thing. When I'm risking very little, it means I'm exactly what it means. I'm risking very little, right? So 3-day chart could come further down. The daily, also, like no lie, could be in a head and shoulder pattern at the top of the range. How do you deal with two time frames looking differently? You know, over time, I've just decided to take in the information and let my brain decide what it wants to do. Like either not trade, you know, usually like, wow, what if we take a nasty dump down to 101,285? You have to be ready for that and then be okay with it. Now, that could be a head and shoulder pattern. Sorry, my fingers slipped, I guess, there. That could be a head and shoulder pattern. And you got a measured move there. The measured move for this would take us to about 191,000. And if you got this high volume node here, you'd think, okay, you'll hit the 200 moving average 96, and then could you drop all the way down to 83 again? Which is a point of control and a gap in the VRVP. So I'm just open-minded that anything is possible. Where everybody is saying up only tomorrow, you're going to be the richest person in the world. I say, hey, you never know. You know, look how the stochastics are turning down on the daily time frame. We had a nice run for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days. Like it was awesome, right? Bitcoin bounced beautifully. But is it sustainable? We've got a possible support range on the daily. So to me, the daily has been the treacherous one. The 3-day chart looks okay. The daily is the one we've got to watch out for. And I was on that 4 hour. As long as you were above the 200 moving average on the 4 hour, I'm bullish. But we got the pump. Usually that's a continuation. I sold that because I was so heavy. That was the biggest trade I made. That was Monday. Since then, or no, that was Sunday, right? Sunday, yeah. Since then, I've been just chilling. I did not expect to make that much money on Sunday. So now I'm just like, you know, I've been scalping back and forth. Really, it's been chopped. And I did not short the top there to the downside on the bearish dip. All right, I'd rather short if we lose that 200 moving average. So now we're toying back with the 200 moving average here on the 1 hour time frame. You see? And I'd like to see us get back above this key level. I am looking for, you know, again, that right shoulder, right? So what I was looking for on this 1 hour is to make some type of right shoulder. We'll see how this 1 hour candle closes. A lot of volatility right now. But that's what I'm looking for. And the overall idea, you know, stops below these wicks for the move to the upside. You know? So that's it. Like nothing crazy, right? Very simple. Falling wedge back to the upside is just what I'm, you know, what we're going for. So the daily looks bearish. Small time frames are fighting off a possible dump. And yeah, anything is possible in the realm of BTC. And that's why I keep myself open-minded at all times. 21 touching there, that ain't the worst thing. 8 hour kind of slipping after bearish divvy though. Says we could easily slump down all the way back down here. Like no reason why the 8 hour couldn't free fall or come to 101. And then you're watching the 1 hour and that 4 hour. So it's really about if you can get back above this moving average here, make that right shoulder. If in the next few hours you're somewhere down here, it's likely you're going lower. You see what I'm saying? Like, because that's like the bears have won. So the bulls have a chance here to make a move and to keep us back above this range, maybe even retest 107.5 and even just get us to 108.444. Nothing special. It's a pretty tight area and you're kind of already at the tip of the bigger pattern. So it's not amazing. I'll be honest. It's if we pump, it doesn't look that good, right? It looks more likely like we're going to dump than pump, if I have to be honest. The bearish div, lower low, you broke this lower low. Now you're kind of making a bit of a downtrend here, right? I guess so you double bottomed on it. And I guess so you double bottomed, like very, very closely, almost made the low. For me, those candles did close lower than those though, even though there's wickage, you know. So to me, yeah. And so the 1 hour and the 15-minute have to get us back above, I'd say even that POC, you know, 107.359. Otherwise, you're going to have some trouble. Yeah. BOOKMAP suggests you still will pump up there and they will flatten the shorts, just playing around. But hey, there's no guarantees yet, as I say always. They could be people that are shorting that get to win, and those stop losses never get hit, and we take a dump. Usually they get liquidated, but hey, it's not every time. I've seen it play out where that doesn't get hit. It's not 100%. I want you to know that. And most of the time it works pretty well, but it's not 100%. Last few weeks too, it's been nailing it, so we wouldn't be surprised if one time it finally failed, you know. It's been pretty spot on. But still, us, we're going to get a short squeeze to 107.8, 108.6, and then into the $110,500 level. That's what BOOKMAP says. They're inducing a lot of shorts right now, making it look very bearish. It would produce a lot of liquidity to the upside right now. It's not like, you know, everybody's long right now and there's a bunch of, you know, I don't know. I don't think a lot of people would long this. I think a lot of people are bearish, you know, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I haven't taken a poll, right? But when I just look at the market, but hey, that was some bearish div yesterday. That double top move was crazy. Or Sunday, that was crazy. Some really horrible price action, right? And as long as we stay below that 200 moving average on the 1 hour, then I'm a bear too. So for me, I'm bearish until Bitcoin can get us back above like the point of control, 107K at least. So the bears are in control right now. That's it. And we're likely going to go lower unless you can get us back above a key level. We held above the 200. Things were looking good. We got another green candle, but it didn't sustain. So, and that will take down most altcoins too, and boom, 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 right? A slippery slope here for Bitcoin. It seems to be liquidating the longs now to the downside. Look at this. So massive long liquidations here for Bitcoin. I'm likely got pinged off, right? Still in there, 135. Wow, I went extra low risk here. Smart man, dude. I love when I barely lose money, and I think I lost way more. I'm like, oh no, I'm not even down. It's fine. Like, no stress. That's awesome. I know not to go crazy today. I had Master Friend in my head, man. He's like, don't trade hard on Jolt's job opening, you know, low volume weekend holiday, because it's just not going to be, that's just not what it is, right? It's not going to be my favorite day to trade. It usually isn't. Bitcoin, USDT here on the 1 hour time frame. You know, what I do understand, though, is the summertime only comes once a year. All right? You only with your kids when they're off school so many times in their lives till they move away. Like for 1 to they're 18. It's 18 times, you know, in 2 months, that's 36 months. If you times it by 2 months of the summer, if you get 3, fine, you're lucky. It's like, you know, 54 months. So 54 months of your life, you get to be with your kids during the summertime. So I don't want, if I'm sitting there stressing Bitcoin the whole time and I'm not a fun dad to be around, it's not worth it, right? So we do our thing when we're alone. We go over the charts, we do our trades, and then when we're with our family, we have fun and we enjoy it. And I just want to let that to be known to everybody, and no matter what you're doing, because even with your girlfriend, your significant other, don't let the markets eat away your life. The markets are going to be here a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. And if you look back and realize that you stressed out so much over the markets and never got to really truly live your life, you'll be upset. Like it'll be, so I know, again, the guy who's online every day doing the market, right? But again, it's 10 to 12, right? I start at 7 in the morning. By 1 or 2, I've been doing this for 7 hours, right? I rest the mind, rest the eyes, come back 5, 6, 7, but I take some time to be with the kids. You know, every day there's moments. Can't sit there 10 hours a day and not have any human interaction. You got to get out. You got to be a part of society. You got to be a part of it all. You got to live. Remember, your life is going to move faster than you've ever thought. Let me tell you this. Before you know it, it's going to be gone. I'm 42. I was just 24 years old. I remember it very vividly. 28, 31. My 30s were the fastest decade of my life. Like, I don't even really truly remember them. They went by so fast. A year would go by or two, and I'd be like, wait, I was over there. How many? Next thing you know, so many years start round tripping. You try to go back in your mind and collect them all. And like, it's not as easy as it used to be because you've lived more times. There's more experiences. Before you know it, you're older than you ever thought, and life will pass you by so fast. So go after your dreams. Don't wait another day to do something that you've been thinking about. I'm telling you right now, make it happen today. Start making the plans to change today. Start making the plans to do something different today. You don't have another moment. Time is not on your side. Unfortunately, it is going like this. The difference between a wealthy person and someone just mediocre living life is the way they manage their time. All right? A wealthy person knows their time is extremely valuable. And this is something that they guard all the time, constantly. And that's very, very important. Remember that. Extremely important. So remember that. Keep your head on a swivel. And remember, the time is, is always there, and just to keep pushing. And I don't mean to scare anybody, but I do want to light a fire under someone that needs to hear it. It may be time just to make a change, time to make it happen, time to go after your dreams. You know what you need to do. Somehow we all know inside we have this guiding light that tells us, and it can hurt when we don't listen. We start running from ourselves when we know the truth. I know I got to start, my garage was a mess yesterday. I knew I had to clean it. Spent a couple hours getting it together and getting it organized because, hey, no one was going to put it together like me and have it all neat and so, and that helped my mental state, helped everything get together. Just these are things we need to do. You know what you have to do. And that's a small example, but we all know what we have to do. In the back of our heads, the back of our minds, and we got to get it done. All right? And be disciplined about our selection of how we use our time. So we don't waste it. We push ourselves every day to become better. If we can be a little bit better each day, we've done something with our lives. That's important. That's how it works. That's the method. That's the lesson. All right? And we're not competing with anyone but ourselves. All right? If every single day you just got to be a little bit better than you were yesterday, that's it. All right? That's it. It's not a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon, I should say, right? It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. One day at a time. Little bit by little bit, we get somewhere, right? And don't give people that don't deserve your time. And the more you spend with yourself, nurturing yourself, becoming more efficient with your time, the more you're going to want to spend with people that do the same. And you're going to be able to see people that squander their time, sit in a bar room all day, half watch a few games, do this and that, when they could have been working on a business, surveying land, doing something interesting, finding something out, learning, going to a summit, being around other people that are pushing themselves. The more you push yourselves, the more you'll be around others that push themselves. Period. So I got stopped out, and that's, looks like they're going to dump this puppy to the downside. That bearish div will take over, and a stop loss on the other side of the 200 moving average may be apparent. Something Jerome Powell said. I guess we got to start watching Jerome Powell. So, but they're bearish. Christine Lagarde is also pretty bearish. Anytime she's around, it's usually bearish, right? I use my dreams to power my goals, to enjoy them, not move the goalposts. Slow down time by ordering something you like with the worst shipping. You're so funny, man. Today is what dreams are made of. Sam, thanks for the moments. Sharing pearls of wisdom, bro. Amen. I'm just trying to tell you, your life is going to disappear. Whether it was 106, 101, 102, or 108, 100,000, 98,000, 92, right? If we're always, it'll happen over time if you desire it bad enough. Whatever you desire and think about and push yourself towards will happen over time. Yeah. And that's kind of a head and shoulder. See, head and shoulder right there. Look, and remember we said, is the 1 minute going to make a right shoulder? Kind of slumped before then made a right shoulder, right? You see? And could we get a bounce? Possibly. But ugly price action for sure. 5 minute chop city. and rejection by the 200 moving average. Still, though, the methods work, right? A candle closes below the 5 minute, done. You see what I'm saying? Like, regardless of how choppy it is, the ups and downs, you know, and we lost the 5 minute 200 here, and we haven't been able to really cleanly get back above it yet. Until you break back above the 5 and the 21 touches with the flag touching, this is why my signal works so well. Because you can't get the signal until the things are right in place. And so that's why it gives you the highest probability to make the move. I use the word to execute, you know, but not in the way that, you know, other people use it, right? Execute is to actually get it done in a great way, right? To execute, you know, at work. High execution at work, right? Funny, it has two meanings in the English language. We're all just hydrogen atoms when we go too heavy for their own good. Yeah, when we go too heavy for their own, you're funny. She hungry, baby. We retested for down. Yep. It dumps every time he speaks. So, wow, look at that. And that's manipulation too. Shorts, you know, again, less people in the market. But wow, 10-minute rejection by the 200 moving average. Probably the 7-minute. Yeah, 7 minutes said no way. Wow. Nasty. But again, it made sense, right? We looked for the 1 hour. But wow, we were just looking for a right shoulder, not for a bearish engulfing candle to take out all the liquidity that existed on either end of the trade too, up and down. That's what they do. Chop City, baby. So just be careful out here. Move the stop loss. Remember, I moved my stop loss up too to take off risk. And there you have it. Now it's coming for the 4-hour 200 moving average. If it breaks that, it's going lower. Looks like it very well may, the way the 21's a little far away. Bearish divergence on that 4-hour time frame. And so, wow, we had 1 hour bullish div today too. That just, you know, said no way. Just got us to resistance right there at 107 and then no. One hour was in the falling wedge. Falling wedges break up 68% of the time. It started to break out. Looked nice. Now it looks like it's going to break down. Broke the bottom trend line like it did here. Doing it again. Catch that bottom to the upside. Yep. I opened so long at 147. Amen. Exactly. Look at that, below the 200 moving average. Bearish, right? Big fat red candle too. Man. My trader instinct tells me just to chill though. Don't chase nothing. But man, they got you. Look at that. I mean, that's nasty. Kind of like, could it be making a diamond? Possible diamond? If it could bounce, you know, somewhat of a diamond here, if it could bounce, a chance it could make a reversal diamond. But wow, 105.9 for Bitcoin, starting to get the nasty drop, even that we talked about there on the 3-day chart. Below that 200 moving average, the rejection of the 7-minute 200 MA. The 200 MA is amazing how it plays out. See, we didn't get back above it. That was a wrap city. The 1 hour closed the candle above it. The next candle was green. They faked me out for sure. That candle closed above it, and that's a signal that I take. So it's, as long as you're losing on a signal that you know, it's okay. But trading today is kind of garbage. But hey, the shorts are getting paid from this initial bearish div there too. Just looking for that right shoulder. Man, what a move. And this is kind of head and shouldery too. 5-minute, 15-minute garbage though. And again, not back above the 200 moving average. So, as we said before, now this would lose kind of you could almost say it's like a bit of an Adam and Eve, just double top too. So Bitcoin looking bearish. It's funny how you sell all the huge the Bitcoin, but mass adoption accelerated, yet people are still being people and selling. I mean, I don't really look at it as price action really determines. I think price action is kind of its own thing. Like, the bigger picture is what's happening to Bitcoin. Like, I've never seen more corporate people buying Bitcoin, nor institutional involvement, right? but yet then it's getting sold off unbelievably hard, right? I mean, we sold right there, the local top, 108,638. That was the last big trade I took that I decided to put like, you know, $100,000 in or more, right? Look, Tesla, please, at free time. Next bear flight. No cash for this upcoming long. I hate that. Darn. Can't catch them all. Yep. Sam, do you ever think we'll see a 100K price? Speculation only. 98% of everybody else who loses trades would be immediately looking to click the button after to get back in one direction or the other. You rock, bro. Really? No, I mean, it just didn't play out. Like, it didn't play out. Like, it stinks. You know what I mean? It's a horrible day to trade, man. I want a short right now immediately. I mean, I definitely, my instincts want me to go back in, but I know that my instincts or my emotions and that initial feeling is my emotion. I don't want to use that. You know, I can't. And if it dumps, it dumps. I'm way better at finding the perfect, you know what? They could dump it all the way down. So let me teach you something. They'll dump it all the way down. All right? They'll dump it all the way down. And eventually, they're going to flush the 1 minute so hard that it's going to have to bounce. Look, maybe we get an inverted head and shoulder here. On a day like today, watch them bounce this puppy. Then if they get above the 200 and the 21 touches, I'll take my model. I might get my model later today. See, there's days I've gotten super bearish, and I thought it was the end of the day. Nothing was going to happen for me. It was a wrap, right? Done. And then what I did is I waited. My best trade happened 2 hours later. 3 hours later, I made more money that day than I made the whole week on days when I thought there was nothing happening. So I got to just stay quiet right now, stick to my trading game, stick to my plan, and over time, I'm going to win. I know it. I'm going to win. I've been winning. God has helped me win. I haven't stopped winning since I started this channel, so we've got it. There's been ups, there's been downs. It hasn't been perfect, but I've turned every single obstacle into a win. No matter what's been thrown at me, no matter what happened, we've made it. And so if I got as far as I could in the last 5 years, I can run another 5, baby. And so let's take this channel to 2030 and find out where we could go. Please subscribe to the channel. My name is Sam Price, the Crypto Lifer. This is real. I'm a real person. I'm not an NPC. Look, that hurt. But seriously, subscribe to the channel, jump on in today, say hi, and don't be shy. And remember, every time you do something for somebody else, whether it's subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, write a comment. Whatever you do for my channel is like doing something for me and my family. It's really awesome. You're supporting me on the internet. You're helping me grow on the internet. It's absolutely wonderful. All right. He says, colossal heavy bearish divergence. So sorry, guys. Shout out to Renee. We love you. I'm thankful for the dip. My levels were at 106.2 and 105.8. I would watch this for a possible bear flag. Wow, the bot finally entered a long. The bot hasn't entered a long in a long time. So that's the first time the bot decided it was time to go long in a while. Very interesting. And that's just some, and let's take a look at that. I always kind of have it up now just to kind of take a look. And remember, I even said I could see the bot possibly getting in here, right? Hope I didn't change that. Might just be taking a second to load on, but it should be coming on in there. Let me see. Make sure I didn't change this template. Yeah. Well, I got the alert, and that's all that matters. I know we're in there. And yeah, it's been logged. Cool. Cool. So the bot enters along. Does that mean, do I blindly enter with the bot? I usually do not. It has called, look, it caught that exact bottom though. It could be doing it again right here. And if you kind of look here too, low, lower low, that would be a higher low in the set, right? Could be an inverted head and shoulder now, you shoulder head, right? I always have to be open-minded here, okay? So we're looking, I'm not saying this is a bear flag and dumping right now. We're actually seeing we can find the daily bottom. One thing I want to do with you, I want to do something pretty interesting. I wanted to have some fun. And I kind of wanted to go through an exercise here. So hold on. Bitcoin, USD, all-time history index, right? And remember, that long too is still in play, which is crazy from when I gave it recently. Anyway, beautiful pump to the upside. So let's take a look back at that monthly candle, right? that just closed. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at the weekly. And what I want to see is, you know, how this month started, right? So there's June. So 1, 2, 3. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, right? And just bear with me for a second here. So these are your weeks that make up the month. Okay, just like the days that make up the week. Let's go into the daily. And let's kind of talk about kind of how this all made sense, right, over time. And we'll bring this all the way to the end of the month, right there. All right. So the month started on a Sunday. And it ended on a Monday, right? Almost a perfect 4-week right move. So look at the first week of the month, right? So it opens, dumps, makes a pump, goes sideways, dumps down for basically 2 weeks, sideways pump, never revisits that high too inside. So look at the month in general. Interesting month, right? But then we look at the month, man, it was a green month, right? We opened at 104, we ended up closing at 107. We were higher, you know, $3,000 higher, okay, than the open. So we opened down somewhere here, we ended up there, right? But, you know, when you see the month, it made a high, a lower low, and a lower high. You see that? Slightly there. Like that low is low, that low is a lower low. The slight downtrend now on the daily time frame, right? So the daily kind of looking a bit sketchy. And again, to me, that is a head and shoulder pattern. Or I'm just, you know, and it does have a measured move, which I am, you know, and I don't want to be a bear here. I just want to show you what I'm seeing. So don't throw tomatoes at me. People get so pissed when I get bearish. Everybody wants me to be only bullish all the time, right? But we got to, you know, we were bullish for a while. Things looked great. The 4-hour was awesome. I saw my signal on the 4. My trader instinct told me not to sit in that trade and to sell it. There's got to be a reason I sold right there, you know, and I sold the top. It never has gone lower than that sell. 108.6, I mean, higher than the sell, really. I sold like 108, I don't know, 468, or even, you know, something went to 104.7, I mean, 108.7. But that high, 108.5 to 108.8 right there is the area. All right, so since then, it's just, you know, anyway. So kind of wanted to break down how we could look at the weekly inside of the monthly, right? And you can kind of see the movement there and price action in general. And so pretty funny month when you really look at it on the day, right? How it all kind of started. June 3rd comes up, you know, it comes up here sideways, dumps, makes a huge pump, massive dump, comes up again, but doesn't come up higher than the previous high. All right. So let's get back to what we're looking at, right, for Bitcoin. And while I'm still very interested that we entered along here on the bot, it's pretty awesome. A lot of alerts going on all the time too. So yeah. ASTRA, 65%. For whatever reason, this thing's just catching more wind than most. I wouldn't chase by any means. I would watch it on the daily, smaller time frame, even the 4-hour. See what it can do back to that 21. Whenever that 21 touches back for ASTRA, it might be interesting to play out. Even just slapping an alert anywhere, like somewhere here. And just, you know, whenever it hits again, it will just stay on my radar. That way you don't even have to think about it again. Very simple ways to trade. A lot of people overuse the, you know, when things are pretty simple. Funny how that's following Bitcoin now, like a breakout, but a break back down, and it's kind of like the whole market looks a bit sketchy. Shout out to my people trading on weeks. Appreciate it. Unbelievable. Great place, good customer service, awesome times to be had. Is it time to trade the NASDAQ today? I was looking to see if we could make a head and shoulder here, and I decided to stay away. So Jerome Powell, whatever he's doing isn't the best, right? He's crashing the market. He's crashing that market, and if we lose the 200 moving average on that 30-minute, We're going to come down to the 200 moving average on that 1 hour time frame. We might make a nasty pullback here on the NASDAQ. Let's take a look at what I see happen on the NASDAQ. I don't know what's up with this hook protocol. It seems to be breaking out of a very strange little flag here. I think I own some of this from back in the day. And again, tiny coin. Stochastic's pushing up. No idea why. I just glanced at it. We were looking at it. Nothing really besides that. Wow, so Bitcoin collapses from the 7-minute 200 moving average. Can it reverse back to the upside here on this 1 minute time frame? Fighting for its life here to turn into an inverted head and shoulder. So hold on. There's two scenarios, right? One scenario, this is some type of bear flag. We got on the 1 minute here. And it's just going to dump lower. Touch of the 21 and go lower. Looks more like a head and shoulder could be forming. Shoulder, head, right shoulder, and it could dump, which is an inverted, right? So we're looking to see if this thing can make a right shoulder here. Save the day. Can the 1 hour stop the pain at 105.7? Is that just too good to be true? Is that where people love buying Bitcoin? Let's take a look at that fear and greed index back at 64. 66 yesterday, 65 on the week, 56 last month, right? Bitcoin 1 minute MACD is never be that low. Is never be that low. Okay, yos. Okay, yos. Powell sound like a broken record right now. Guy vanished out of nowhere. Where my Crypto Kirby fans at? I don't, honestly, man, a lot of these people disappeared. People in crypto decide that it's over. I'm a trader. I'm interested to see if we dump, then we're going to learn, we're going to have to short this puppy all the way down. We're going to have to find ways to be, positive no matter what. And we're going to have to build ourselves into amazing traders on any given day. So, yeah, touching the 21 for more downside. For more downside there. Wow. Bearish engulfer. Massive dump for Bitcoin. So they faked the breakout, closed the candle above. But if you know my style, the rejection by that, we got to get above the 5 minute 200 moving average. You got to get above it, and the 21 has to cross. So and I know, and we know that you got to flag out with the 21, and that's when the magic can happen. If you don't get that, it's kind of sad, right? I wouldn't be surprised if they still pump this puppy to the upside. What time frame does that look pretty good on right there? What was that, the 30 minute? No, 15 minute? I just saw something. There, yeah, the 10 minute time frame is starting to do a possible tweezer bottom. See that? Possible. There it goes. Second we had a possible tweezer bottom. It said no. Unless that pulls off some type of right shoulder, we'd have to say it's going lower to 105.4 now for Bitcoin. Man. Seeing if we can find that daily bottom today, but it's a mess, right? Strapped on whale. Yeah, sounds about right. I have a holiday pump. Easy money shorting, make a fortune. Sometimes nothing's easy, in my humble opinion. Yeah. Shorting is fast. It does happen really fast, but you gotta sell pretty quick. Yeah. They totally fake it this time. Hey, one step at a time. It's just how the markets work. Here it is now. This is it. Can we triple bottom and hold 105.750? Chance that we bounce here back to the upside. This could be the move. Shoulder. This could be the cup and handle that resonates and gets the pump. That's 786 fib retracement, right? Look at that right there. Basically your little pass. Wow, there it goes. Shoulder, head, right shoulder, technically speaking there. Some would say bearish retest of that trend line. Possible. 30-second triple bottom. somewhat of a higher low there. Inverted head and shoulder. Measured move would be here to here. Flipped to the line. Back to the upside here for Bitcoin. All right. That measured move takes you to 106,295 for BTC. This is some hard chop, no lie. Makes the job fun, doesn't it? Yeah, you know, you push forward every day, though. It's not easy. And you're like, are you bear flagging? And so now remember, I don't long this at all. I would never long unless we get back above the 1 minute 200 moving average and the 5 minute. Until then, it's downside. You see? Like, I know a signal when I see it. It's my signal, baby. So unless we can get back above the 200 moving average on the 1, we'd have to decide that this thing's just going to continue lower. Possible M pattern here, right? That's going to break down now. See, when you see it as an M, so it's either going to hold this. Wow, it's a battle. I wouldn't touch this right now. The volatility is crazy. They're just going after who's ever got low risk management and a lot of leverage, apparently. And now whoever got wrecked, remember, they're revenge trading. So once people get wrecked, it's just like revenge trader after revenge trader after revenge trader, and it gets insane. I only trade the 200 moving average. I was above it on the 1 minute, on the 1 hour, so I took it. I lost the trade. No, okay, so be it. You know, I'll get back on my horse and do it again until I win. I only got to win 3 out of 10, and I'll win more than that over time. So Bitcoin, 1 minute. See if you can break out of the falling wedge. Falling wedges break up 68% of the time. Come on, Bitcoin. Do what you're supposed to do. Do one technical analysis move you're supposed to pull off. Let's go. And this would trade very similar. We have a bank holiday, I believe, on Friday. Yes, because we have July 4th weekend. And so a lot, again, I told you, people are ready. How many people here are packed up, ready to go somewhere? How many people have a trip planned? How many people are ready to go somewhere? Anybody? Anybody already somewhere? Are you moving? Who's traveling? Anybody? Put a 333 if you're traveling. Or at least put a 444 if you're not traveling, but you got plans. Family's coming to you maybe. Or maybe you're already where you got to be. But I'm sure there's a lot of people getting ready for the 4th of July, right? And let's be honest. You're not paying attention to the market like you used to be. You're getting ready for the biggest barbecue of your life. You want to have some fun, right? Hey, Sam, how bad did Cetus... You know, it didn't hurt Sui too bad. It hurt Cetus more than anything else, in my humble opinion. Yeah. Not giving my energy to the ritual. That's funny, right? The chopping block. I can't afford to travel anymore. On my boat, 333, traveling for work. Shout out to D-Dubs on the boat, baby. Going to the Gulfstream Park to watch the fireworks. To the daily resets for huge percentage success. Time to trim my garden, pathways, grass. Love that, man. I love it. Bot just took the long inverted head and shoulder. Let's go. It did, right? It did. Your bot took it too, huh? I'll be at your guy, Dizzy Gang. You're crazy, man. I've been out for 2 months. I've been buying 2 weeks just before Powell's gone. Yeah. Is he done yet? Is he gone? Can I stick my head out of the water yet? Did Jerome Powell disappear yet? So this looks like our possible daily bottom here. 105,008 may have been the scoop up for Bitcoin. Get back up in action here. Inverted head and shoulder, possible cup and handle. Can we get the pump back above the 200 moving average? There could be a long for us just yet today. 5 minute looking for the reversal. 4 green candles in a row. And we're back in action. It's funny. My instincts about the day are usually correct. The way they go after it is just absurd, though. Massive long squeeze. Look at that. Tweezer bottoms. Let's see if they can get put in 53 minutes. We wait. That green candle closes as such. We got ourselves a possible reversal. You got to have the patience. Just back from trip, taking another one this weekend. Just going all around the world, my man. Doing what he got to do. Rave Song Records, having a blast out there. God bless you, friend. I know I can loosen this and just give myself a bit of a tilt. There we go. Yeah. Sorry. Get your hands off the mic over there. Long in a red candle is nasty work. It's not easy. Right there in that action, you know, they went and scalped 105.6. snatched it up. Back to the 1 minute. And again, I look for so I'm just looking for the signal. If we get it, I possibly will take it. Things will have to be right. The 21 will have to be touching price. The 21 moving average will have to be touching price action when it's above the 200 moving average, okay? That's it. Nothing else. Going to Kennebunkport, Maine for the wedding of the 4th. It's going to be absolutely blast. Brad Morrison, you're going to have a blast, man. It's really good up there. Watch out for the flies, though. They got some big flies. 13 EMA, 1-day rejection. The NFP, non-farm family payroll token with the pump also. Oh, yeah. But then the dump, too. Look at that. Nasty rejection here. As things started to look good for a split second, but you had to open your mouth and say there was a pump. You're funny. I'm just messing around. Look at that. Bear flagging. Now you got to say that's a head and shoulder about to take you down. You see, and that's why I would not long unless I see my signal. That's why I love my signal. It keeps me from doing anything silly. Like I might chase this right now, but you're not going to see me do that. I'm still reeling off the wind from Sunday night. It was so hot. Like I'm still like, wow. I couldn't believe it happened the way it did. I had so much conviction in that one play, and they played with me over and over again. And when I won that one, I was like, man, I got them this time. They almost got me, but not that time, you know. That looks like a head and shoulder about to take us further to the downside. If I had to go by probability, I would say that that is a dump. All right. Wow, Jerome Powell opens his mouth and the markets just implode. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ, the NQ. All right. Yeah, nice, nasty dump for the NQ. Let's take a look at it. Let's see what's happening on the bigger picture, right? So since my call, we have broken out, but it could be a bit of a blow off top. I mean, big move though, right? Got in at 22,174. Thing ripped to 22,959. So you can be greedy and sit in it. Move the stop loss to break even, but basically on my call, you can either move your stop to break even, you know, the analysis that I gave and how I look at it. You can even move your stop loss to break even, take profits, but you should not. You know, again, you should not be losing money. Greed is a lot of the reasons why people lose money. They're up and they just don't think it's good enough, or they force it and it doesn't end up playing out so well, right? The daily's away from the 21-day moving average. Every time that happens, we do have to consider there could be a bit of a pullback. We've got this resistance, which could create somewhat of a floor. If we're going for a massive dump, let's take a look at like the weekly and see what's happening. Yeah, almost a bit of bearish divergence on the weekly, which is, you know, that's a bit sketchy. That is bearish div there on the weekly time frame. Seems like we had the chance to go so much lower though. But again, kind of like Bitcoin in the 2021 rally, how it dumped, made a secondary high just above it, only to implode. I had a pretty big position in the S&P. I sold it a long time ago, so I sold it in this area here, back in about February, right there. So I sold pretty close to the local top of the NASDAQ and the S&P so far, right? 25,701. And bang. I mean, or do we dump nastily and would have to turn this into some type of rising wedge, right? Which I'm cool with if that happens as such, and then we could break out. Or this makes an M and we dump. Now, what will happen is you'll come here, bearishly retest, dump down, and then you'll have yourself an M pattern, and you'll know that the dump is coming at that point. It'll be pretty obvious. Are we slow playing a massive bleed out? I mean, see, I'm open. This market has me on edge every other week. I wish it didn't. I wish it was a perfect market where it was up only. And I could be that crypto guy that says it's going to be fine. Just keep buying. And again, I believe altcoins over time, we're going to have some type of bull run. I just don't know exactly how and when it's going to work. And there's no guarantees to how it's going to possibly happen as well. Okay? And we'll just figure it out over time. So Bitcoin falling off here and now losing the trend line, we would have to assume that's going to go further down to $105,054. We would have to assume that's a head and shoulder pattern that's going to dump in our face. Okay, that's it. Somebody says the CME gap was filled. Let's take a look at the CME. Right here on futures. And, you know, everyone says the CME gap. They never tell me what time frame the CME gap was at, right? Technically, that gap got filled 80. You know, there's a gap right here. So, yeah, you're right. We filled the gap 100%. So, thank you. It was on the 4-hour time frame. I answered my own question. But there was a CME gap right there that did have to get filled. And it has been filled now. I don't see another gap, but that doesn't mean we can't go lower. I just want to make that clear, right? This says you're dumping somewhere down to about $105,061. You know, we did not get that reversal. There was a chance things started to look okay. Once that rolled over and you hit this level, and then you could see it was a shoulder, had right shoulder, looked like it was going to start dumping. I got my Stealth Well shirt on today, Master Friend. Blessings on blessings. Thank you. Fatigue the traders and investors. This is the only up, unfortunately. That is the only interesting. Need some honey. No, never. USDT down, double squeaky bottom, no good. Yeah, let's take a look at Tether dominance and see what's happening to Tether dominance and the DXY. The DXY was dumping hard. You know, there could be one last little, you know, as the DXY falls down, it makes that one last little crawl up, you know, to try to grab the last bit of price action. I mean, look how bearish it was. It fell off all the way, and now it's attempting to reverse itself here. Has some bullish divergence on the 4-day chart, on the 4-hour there, see? Look for it to bearishly retest, but it could make an inverted head and shoulder and attempt to get back on its feet here. The DXY attempting to hold the 96. That's crazy. Let's take a look at Tether dominance and see what's happening in Tether dominance. That looks like it's spiking up. Look at that. Out of nowhere, people decide, I'm going to tether up. Very interesting. And also bouncing off like the 200 moving average here on the 4-hour time frame. It's got a little bit of legs there. I could bounce. You know, another thing though, if jobs data comes in strong, then why would he cut rates? You see, it always kind of messes with me there. So in July, it's an 80% chance that they will not cut the rate. Okay, so for the July meeting, 80% chance. Then we skip and we go, right? And that's July 30th. So we have a while. We've got 30 days. Then there's a 74% chance that they do cut the rates in September. So, and that's accurate. So that tells me that they're going to cut the rate in September. Not 100%, of course. And then 56, and then 47%. And that would be, you know, here we are, 1, 2, 3 rate cuts throughout the year. And that would create a frenzy, some good borrowing opportunities for free money, and people would use that to throw it into the markets like we do. It's just kind of how it happens. That's the overall big thesis. You know, there's more going on than that. There's derivatives, there's all this other stuff, but that's it, you know. It's a block away, so it keeps me fit every day, man. I'll give you a tracking number the second it's in there, man. You're funny, bro. I'm going to text you when it's there. If you turn crypto asset into US dollars, you lose big. 0.04 cents. The unit, I don't know what he's saying. Cryptocurrency, baby. Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I agree, but that's what he's saying, yeah. In my opinion, he's not cutting rates till the 4th quarter. That's what this says. That's what this says. September, or you mean October, November, December? That's going to be tight. Because there's no November meeting. So I think he has to supplement September at one point because he doesn't have 3 meetings. Unless he pulls an emergency meeting, which is possible. So look at that. Tether dominance looking interesting. So does Bitcoin dominance want to pump with Tether? That usually tells you something's brewing here. Look, we look for this right shoulder on Bitcoin dominance. Or just kind of a smaller, it might be a smaller right shoulder. But that would help out, you know, unless it's just a black swan too. So someone says, can you look at RAI Reploy? Remember that one from back in the day? RAI Reploy. Ended up making it MXC and everywhere else too. Last time I looked at it, it was in that 618, 706. It flumped down to the 806. Now it's in the 706, 786. Fibonacci retracement. We look at the daily. Man, all these coins are hit so hard. And we had that inverted head and shoulder on the whole market. Right there too. Bit of an inverted head and shoulder coming back to make a retest. And if they're going to let this market breathe, they are doing everything they can to put the foot down on it. For as many as people say retail isn't here, it's like, who are they torturing? Me and you? We've been in it. We're done. We're untorturable. We've been doing this for so long. We're not even in it for the money anymore. We're in it for the pain, I guess. You know what I mean? This is insane. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. Bouncing off the 200 moving average. We would have to get a bounce here for RAI. 64 cents. Back up to 92. They pummeled these coins. SEI was the strongest one we could see the last couple of weeks. Even that fell out the pattern, right? Didn't want to play ball. You could extend it and say it's in a bigger pattern, but man, that pattern was clean. It fell out, right? Not stopped out yet, but even that trade is no go. Everything's a bit sketchy. We'd have to get a bounce. There's a chance this could bounce. Chance you could get kind of a cup and handle here and a bit of a bounce. And the trade isn't over yet, so we'll keep it a lot. Redefine the trend lines and see if this thing can get a bounce. It is very oversold. I would expect it attempting to get a bit of a bounce here back to the upside. It would be awesome if it could do that. But hey, no guarantees. Could you do TA on comp on the 4-hour? Much love, bro. Let's take a look at COMP on the 4-hour time frame. Shout out to Gabrielle M. Leone. Thank you so much. Let's take a look at comp. First thing we'll do is look at the weekly, get rid of those moving averages, and take a look at it clean, double-click it. Wow, comp. It's crazy to see even comp doing that, like, you know, a protocol that had some pretty decent return over time. So up and down now, it's just basically in that bearish accumulation, right? Attempting to make some type of rounded bottom, but not looking amazing. Bit of a bear flag here, too, that could go further to the downside and head, what, to 1501? Resistance there, 119. So I don't know, man. Comp doesn't look amazing. If anything, it's at the bottom of it, like the range it likes to bounce from. And if you like the coin, it would probably be an accumulation. You're not buying, you know, overbought areas. You're buying discount. But man, that's sad to see, right? And like, really, you'd wait for it to get back above the point of control. And there's no telling where it could possibly go lower. Back to 18 even, right? This looks like it's bottom for sure. But man, you could have said that here, you know. And after it had that major pump in the sell-off, it's just been kind of slumping around. You go to the daily, and again, you're looking for that 200 moving average. You're looking for some type of bounce back above a key level. Since the rejection there, pretty whack, right? Not a lot of love here for comp. So the bigger time frame looked like it was in a bit of a bear flag. Has this kind of broadening wedge here opening up. And you're attempting to make this falling wedge, but everything is slumping too with BTC today. So you're going to get a pullback in your coin usually most of the time, all right? Bitcoin attempting now to make the inverted, right? So it could have been lower since then. Let's deep dive it here and see if it's going to attempt to get back into good graces here. So you'd have a shoulder, you'd have a bit of a head, you'd have a right shoulder for the breakout back to the upside, something that we would be seeing for Bitcoin, right? That's kind of what we would like to see if it has the reversal in it. Can we get through this messy day of jobs data and Jerome Powell? The jobs data came in at 777 million. Right? The forecast was 7.3. The previous was 7.4. So there's more job openings. Remember, people are less likely to get back to work. More, but it also says that, doesn't it mean that businesses are growing and they need more work? I think it's a positive. It's a plus positive. It says, hey, we might have more, you know, people that need to be employed. People are less likely to go get a job. Could also say that employers are struggling to get people to work and it's harder for them to make business too. So there's mixed signals there. I look at it as more bullish because it's creating openings. It's like there's a place to work. And if what it is telling you too is if you want to work, there's work for you. If you're complaining there's no work, you're just not looking hard enough. So good morning, Sam. Have a great day, brother. God bless the Price family and the lifers. Much love. Shout out to Rudy. God bless you, brother. Dow is ripping. What does that mean when all is red? Risk-off assets doing well. It's just a mini bear market. Bitcoin isn't even close to topping out yet. Jerome said it's too soon to cut rates in July. I want to sell off to 90K so Bitcoin will pump harder. Yeah. Sol with divergence of the 5. Money flow going up. Yeah, I mean, I see that looks like we could reverse here now. And we will find that daily bottom. Looks like it may have been 109.6. Dumped it out the flag. Can we get this reverse? See, I'm looking just to see if it can make an inverted. We're projecting what we haven't even seen yet. Sam, I got to say, the Bitcoin does not care about the news. She just hunts liquidity. Exactly, 100%. You are 100%. Exactly. Time to go to work, work, work. Yep, everyone wants Bitcoin. They just play the game of waiting for it to go down. Then they chase it when it goes up. I buy Bitcoin all the time, right? More Bitcoin is the answer. That's it. That's how I got here in the first place. You wouldn't know me if I never decided to buy BTC. It just wouldn't have happened. It's part of the journey. It was the par for the course, right? Was the BTC buying. And now here we are every single day together. So blessings to everyone kicking it with me on this holiday week. We love you. I got to say, Bitcoin does not, everyone wants Bitcoin. They just play the game. Yeah. Find that bottom lifer. We will. There's a chance. So you're telling me there's a chance. So let's see. I don't know. And to me, I would not long these. I don't long bottoms anymore. I stopped doing that. I just wait for us to get above the 1 minute, 2. It's usually pretty close to the bottom on the bigger time frame. It looks like you long the bottom on the bigger time frames. No one will know, really, that you played the perfect signal, right? So yeah, the way out here is a possible shoulder, head, and a right shoulder. Like that's the way out. Can we get back to 106,864 for Bitcoin? Sam, thank you. Found out my mate took his own life yesterday, and just watching your stream is giving me strength. I'm so sorry to hear that, Nick. And a moment of silence for your mate, man, and his parents, his mom, dad, anyone that knew him. I'll read testimonials from people that say, Sam, thanks for what you did. Say thanks this, thanks for that. And I say, amazing. I'm like, that's amazing. And then I think of people that have untimely demises and certain things happen. And I get so sad because I'm like, that could have been someone that was changing somebody's life. That could have been someone that inspired the world to do something amazing. And maybe even through that, somehow through the story, it all happens. But man, and remember, I'm always worried about someone, no, I'm just going to leave that there in my own thoughts. Yeah. But bless everybody out there, and just, find your connection to the spirits. Find your connection to God. Find your connection. When I mean spirit, to nature, to the spirit of nature, right? Is what I wanted to say. Like the ocean, the trees, the air, right? Like connect to nature. There's a frequency there that you can dial into. You're definitely tapping in when you're alone. You've ever been alone in nature and you just feel this? You feel peace. You're where you're supposed to be. There's something to that. And I believe it will help you connect you to the source and make you a better person over time. The more you spend in nature, the better off you'll be. The more you'll be able to kind of process information with clarity. I'm telling you right now, you can't get bombarded with so many signals at once that you don't even know your own signals. You're just like an indicator. We need to clear your mind of all the other indicators and be able to feel you for what you are. That's what nature does for you. Nature resets your thoughts. Also, if you've been around Wi-Fi, everyone has Wi-Fi in their house. We all have this electromagnetic frequencies messing with our own frequency. When we go to nature, take off our shoes, we ground. Grounding is literally connecting to that frequency on the earth that then takes away those electromagnetic frequencies from us. It grabs them. The earth is so powerful, it pulls them off of us and grounds us. That's why grounding is so important, my friends. Taking a walk in nature barefooted, if you can, in the right place at the right time, can put you in a better place. So it just, And again, people can say whatever you want. I live and die by these rules. I will go to the beach today at one point, put my feet in the sand, and ground myself. So Possible inverted head and shoulder here. Possible this is the bottom. Can we get back up? Can Bitcoin say no more pain after 105,963, right? Shout out to Chatty C. He almost got you. Even Mikey D's have Wi-Fi. Hey, thanks, guys. It's tough, but it can't be as tough as what he was going through. 100%, right? You're correct. Disconnect. Go back to the roots. Hey, my mom died while she was talking to me on Thanksgiving a year and a half ago. I know I bring it up sometimes, but it's painful. And I know pain, and I know the pain that makes you want to leave your own body and go somewhere different. And feel like, why would I want to be here? Like, I relived the thought of my mom telling me in my face, am I going to be okay? And I said, yeah, you're going to be fine. Like, I thought she was going to be with me. I never thought that was the last time I would ever hear her voice, like, you know, and then they rushed her to the hospital, and what a way to do it with the music, huh? Wow. Really brought me down here. Yikes. Looks like I need a long something on the 30-second chart to kind of bring everybody's spirits back. No, and I try not to laugh, but I try to make laughter out of every moment in my life, because what else do we have? But laughter and each other and our memories, you know? And so when you've been battered and beat down as bad as I have, when it comes to like your mom, what happened to my mom and my dad, you'll never be the same, for sure. You'll never be the same. But all you can do is help others get through the pain, and that's the only thing I can do. Every once in a while, someone will post on Twitter or something will happen, and I feel like I have a way with words in a way to say something, because I know. And maybe that's the only reason I went through it. But God has a plan for us all, and I never lose faith in God just because things don't happen the way I thought they should have, or because they seem more painful than they ever should have been. God has a plan. It actually makes me more faithful. I actually connect to God even deeper when I don't understand, because I know that there's a deeper reason that I'm a part of a quilt. I'm just a piece of the quilt, right? And the quilt is bigger. I'm not the quilt maker, but I'm a part of the quilt. I must trust the quilt maker that I was placed in the right place in the quilt to do what I need to do for the universe and for life, right? And so you need to think the same, right? And that, I shouldn't say you. It's beautiful to think the same. I don't want you to tell you what you need to do. You do whatever makes you happy. But that can, in my mind, makes me feel more worldly, part of a universal idea that it's not just me, it's everybody, right? We're all part of something bigger than ourselves. We're not perfect, we make mistakes, but if we can correct them from the day before and find ways to continue to connect those thoughts each time we change and progress, then we could find, we can find contentment in the way we change our lives. Yeah, a little bit of a bull flag here. Bitcoin could get back above, it got back above the 200 moving average. Now it has to do it on the 30-second. All right, and so when these moving averages get tight too, they tend to pump up to the 200 moving average. So we could see Bitcoin pump all the way up here to 106,000. We may be seeing the daily reversal here. Amen. Yeah, exactly. 100%. 100%. All right. So Bitcoin on the 30-second chart. No, honestly, you aren't trusting your real life, man. It happened to me in real life, crypto. It happened to me in real life, man. Yeah, I don't shy away from weirdos who write weird things. But God bless you, man. I hope you have a good day. I felt Sam talking directly to me on this one. Thank you, Sam. Bless you. And really us all. Thank you, Jem. They're proud of you. They see you now wear pants when you trade. They're boys all grown up. God bless you, man. That's funny. Some people want it to happen. Some people wish it would happen. Others make it happen. It's all going to go the way you plan if you plan it right and continue to push. Again, the universe will change. Obstacles will be in your way, but that doesn't mean you can't continue to do what you plan on doing. Tight moving averages here usually get a pump up to the 200 moving average. This may be the sloppy daily bottom we've been looking for, right? And could it be like a shoulder, kind of head, shoulder action here? Whatever it is, we got a bit of a pump back to the upside. Some bullish divergence on the candlesticks too here as this kind of swung down for sure. But that swung up. That's a bullish divergence for sure. So, hey, not too shabby, huh? Getting a bit of a nice move back to the upside here. And he says ZBCN held with the dump. That's awesome. Yeah, 76 million closer to the bottom. Thank you. Nothing going to happen if you never start. That's the hardest part. That's why the secret to success is getting started. That's why I say that at the end of every stream, because it's like, that is the secret to success. It's getting started. Look at this 30-second chart reversing off the flag near the 21. Just kind of show you how the microcosms of price action compete to make the macro. And they all kind of do one thing to kind of create the other. It's a puzzle piece that fits. It's amazing. Mudang showing the signs on the 1 minute, I believe. Shout out to Deep on the shorts. I'll take a look at Mudang. Mudang, baby, Mudang. Lil Hippo. You know, it's just, when we look at Mudang, just to clarify, it's back at that 618 golden pocket. Oh, it had that inverted head and shoulder, like, right? See if it can make another right shoulder at one point. But everything kind of pulling back with Bitcoin. I got the bigger picture of the fib here and see that it came back down to the 618. And it just says, yeah, like on the daily, this would be the next leg to the upside for Mudang. So that's all. Now, when we see the dump, something smart to do is take a look at SOLBTC real quick and just see what's happening there. Thank you for the super chat. We appreciate that. So Sol Bitcoin, SOLBTC. Looking on Binance, right? We want to see if this bullish divergence can play out. If it rolls over, it's likely most of the altcoins are going to go lower. If this pumps, then we can get a reversal. So like watching the percentage of this idea here kind of looks like shoulder, head, right shoulder. It doesn't look amazing. I have to be honest, looks a little more bearish. I'd like to have seen more of a reversal after that. Why did the tomato turn red? Because it saw the salad dressing. Oh my gosh. Yeah. How come the strawberries cried? How come the 2 strawberries cried? Because he found out, no, how come the strawberry cried? Because he found out his parents were in a jam. You can say everything, anything you want to make it laugh as long as you have drum roll and laughter, right? Like watch. I walked down the street the other day. A dog looked at me funny. No, he did. And I said, why are you looking at me, dog? And then he spoke. And he said, because I'm a lifer. See, I got you laughing. It doesn't matter. I could say whatever. I could say tulips. I'm just a funny guy. Maybe I could make anything sound funny. I don't know how it works, but it just does. See, I got you going, man. It's amazing. So here, Bitcoin, and then Solana. If Bitcoin struggles, Solana struggles too. I'm watching Solana BTC, right? Hey, Lois, I'm gonna grow a beard. Hey, Chris, go to your room. Love my brother. You're the best. Hey, God bless you. He has a point. Uncle Sammy with the dad jokes. Hey, you gotta love it over here. Hey, and here comes the best one, right? Hey. I was with my wife the other day. She said, hey, how come you don't take me no place I never been, huh? So I took her to the kitchen, huh? Never gets old. I just got brain hacked. It's not fair what I did to you. It's not, right? It's not. There was a bird outside. He looked at me, and I said no, and he said yes. Daffodils. Bada bing, bada boom. Oh my gosh. Bitcoin. Doing the do. Just hit the target. And I told you, when these moving averages get tight, they pump to the 200 moving average. Learn this. See what you just saw here? You can trade the 1 hour like this. You can trade the weekly like this. You can trade the daily like this. You see altcoins that look just like this on the daily? They will rip to the upside. All right? Just became a member. God bless you, man. Thank you, Zumba Pumba. What does that mean? God bless you. Thank you for jumping on in. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Zumba Pumba. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Let's get Bitcoin to 110,000. 106 ain't bad. Now, this is unsustainable unless we can get back above that 1 minute 200 moving average. We pumped pretty far from the 21. Once you pump from the 21, now you got to start looking for another flag here. And you got to get the 21 to come into play. If that happens, we can continue to the upside. But now we play the game. So now we're seeing if Bitcoin can consolidate while the 21 comes into play so we can dig our way on out of here. And finally, we may have found our daily bottom. We did our job. That's what I do here every day. I attempt to find the daily bottom. Hey, also, 105.8 was the bot. The bot bought this area. The bot just knew that it was a low. It just had it. It died. Something about how that bot works, man. It just knows. It catches bottoms beautifully. If you want to buy the bot, I have a bot that trades for you. It's absolutely amazing. And it's on Minotaur. All right. Let me get I believe I have a link for it somewhere over here. Sean, you got the link to Minotaur? Or anybody out there? Let me know. Right? You gotta lose and walk away, right? That's the key, right? Now, this makes me want to trade now. If this flag plays out, I'd want to trade it, but I'm gonna wait for my model. I'm just very disciplined. My model's been playing out so much in the last month. If I found anything more about the clarity of the woods, of where I am the last month, and everything else kind of coming together, is the idea that it's all about trading at the right time with the right model, and everything else is just a waste of time, right? So, our dad subscribed us. I love it. Thank you. Rodney Dangerfield is a classic. We bounced off the 4-hour 200 moving average. Did we get a bounce off that? Oh, wow, we did. Look at that. So let's kind of talk about that too for Bitcoin right now. Let's kind of change our tune. So we knew that's a bottom area. That's also a key place I like to get in, but man, I need that 1 minute confirmation right now. We could be getting the shoulder, the head, the right shoulder. That could play out further to the upside for sure. Okay. Never get too bearish. Never get too bullish. Be cool as a cucumber each day, one step at a time, and there's always going to be another trade. Never force it, all right? A lot of people feel like it's got to be right now. It doesn't have to be anytime. Nothing has to be, all right? That's haste. Haste makes waste. A beautifully planned out, clear trade is the key. If it's not there, then you got to work on developing something that you like. That makes sense. I found my sauce, right? With my 21, my 200, like I'm sitting pretty with where I'm at. I love it. I know it works for me. I know that most of the time it's going to pay me if I listen. As long as I keep my emotions low and I keep my risk management on tight, things are going to play out. And I have faith in that. And so I keep that mentality. So these tomatoes are walking down the street. Papa tomato, mama tomato, and baby tomato. 3 tomatoes. Baby tomato starts lagging behind. Papa tomato gets real angry. Gets back and squishes in. And says, catch up. Oh, man. You're so... Oh, man. Please, man. Don't stop. You don't have the drum thing with the thing. You can't make dad jokes. You know what I mean? I got this. All right? I can do it whenever I want over here. Huh? I got it. I got it like that. Could still make a right shoulder. We're not out of the water yet. This is still pretty ugly. The bigger time frames don't look amazing. I don't want you getting too excited here. We're attempting to find the daily bottom. I didn't say it's there for sure. You see that Hindu temple they built in Robbinsville? Hey, I don't know what you're saying over here. Catches bottoms perfectly. That's what, oh my gosh. Buy the bottom, become the bot. Amen. Amen. 105,960 for Bitcoin. Slumping. Sketchy business here. So it had a bit of a move. It bounced off the 4-hour 200 moving average. Showed signs of life, possibly, and now it's slumping. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. You can see the head and shoulder right there. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. I don't make the rules, man. I just see for what happens right there. Look, it's how fast that 30-second will react to the actual, to the pattern. Like, it will see the pattern and react to it so fast. It'll teach you so much about price action watching the 30-second. If you just sit on the 30-second for a few hours a day for a couple weeks, you'll learn so much. It'll teach you so much because you'll be able to see things happen like they should in real time. You know what I'm saying? And you'll never get it like that. It just won't happen. Yeah. Shout out to everybody here, man. And today's a special day, man. Today's Lakochi Day. Lakochi, man, we love you. You're meant to be here. I've been trying not to. I love everyone that's part of my community, everybody that helps this community grow. But look, he said, I don't know how to put this into words, but my heart is full. I'm grateful to all the lifers today, each and every one of you. I've been looking back at my own story, and it's been a wild ride. When I first found on Sam on YouTube, July of 2022, this is 3 years ago, I was down, depressed, honestly at the end. That was the last day of my depression. Everything changed from there. 3 years later, I have a place of my own. I'm getting married in December, and life is so different. This is bigger than Sam. It's all about you. Love learning. Zeno, Sean, Gita, Babita, Master Fran, A's, GF Burke, and every one of you. Jay, this family changed my life forever, and I mean that. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll never stop being grateful. Thank you, Lakochi. God bless you, brother. And so, like, it doesn't matter, you know, the ups and downs. It doesn't matter how many people talk, you know, what they say, but the love to me is the most important thing. And every single day, if I wake up and I know that I changed somebody's life, I know I did what I'm supposed to do in my life. And see, that's when I know I'm where I need to be. So, Lakochi, man, you change my life every day. Those words are stronger than any dollar that could ever be put in my pocket. And may God bless you, man. And I thank you for everything. And everybody here, too. Like, God bless you all. You know, market's slow. It's back and forth. It's not perfect. But it is what it is. Yeah, jump in on today, man. Check out Minotaur. And find out why we love Minotaur. Find out what happened. That's me there live, too, when we were hanging out in Las Vegas. Schedule a free call. And, you know, understand what I'm doing with this trading bot I keep mentioning. The bot buys and sells whenever, you know, on its own. You can track it here. It does its thing. It's pretty awesome. So, find out more today at Minotaur Trading Systems and go to the lifer version right there. And, yeah. See if it's a good fit. It might not be a fit. It's got to be a fit for the right people. So, you're changing our lives, my brother. Feel the power. God bless you, man. Go to the gym, bro. I love you, man. Thank you. The greatest fulfillment in life is derived from one's actions and contributions. Amen. Amen. Possible inverted head and shoulder. Possible move back up. We got across the 30-second 2. Then the 1 minute. I'll teach you how this all works. I know it's confusing at first, and there's a lot to think about, and it seems like we're going, but it's pretty simple. Get above the 1 minute 200 moving average, the yellow line, then we can start our move on out of here. Make this a cup and handle, right? Start helping things out a little bit. Let's pull a Fibonacci. See if we can bounce off that 618. And if we can get back above the 1 minute 200, there's a chance this is all just, you know, quick reversal. We get back up. And then, you know, everything kind of bounces. The whole thing is the 1 hour looked bouncy to me at the beginning of the day. Like we would bounce back to the top of the channel. And then another thing you want to look at is this 4 hour 200. If we lose the 4 hour 200 moving average, I'm bearish for a possible bigger move down. As long as we stay above that, this was just kind of a liquidity grab and we could be getting a bounce. So I would watch your 4 hour very, very closely. That key area is something that we need to really be honed in on right now. Okay? Very important. Shout out to the live chat. How's everybody doing? Let's take a look at the fan funding in the live chat. The bots, it depends on the pricing. It depends on how you're going to use it and how, you know, kind of what level you want to use it at. I think there's some different pricings involved. Another chance for the market makers to dump the alts and take the squeeze out, whatever money is left to snaz. Hey. Sam, it's also backtesting the 4 hour candle high of May 12th. Seems like a key support and resistance level. Thank you, Shiraz. God bless you, brother. Salam, my friend. So we need these tariff deals to get finalized. Another chance for the market makers, yeah. Oh, yeah. I just like using this 200 moving average, seeing if we can get the bounce. So you can kind of see my sauce today. You can see what I'm going for, what we're thinking about, and how we're attempting to achieve it. We're going to use the smaller time frames to see if we get back above the 200 moving averages. Then we're going to look to see if we get the bounces and key support levels. And there's a chance that we do reverse here. That could have been the bottom for the day. It likely was the daily bottom, but you know, you never know for sure. You never know for sure. The Caribbean sounds like a good time. Bless you, brother. Bless you. So yeah, and altcoins, I'd be careful right now when it comes to altcoins. You know, even the ones that look good are a bit sketchy. You know, the few ones that I really like, I put out to the trading group and we talk about them here and here. Definitely good chance, in my humble opinion, though, to get off zero. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but for me personally, every time is a good time to add to some more Bitcoin bags and to buy a little more Bitcoin. So hey, right? Exactly. Spread the love. God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. Right? So funny, man. Nico Nice, that's crazy, bro. Cali cooked, man. I know, right? Dang. It's crazy, man. They're turning it into the UK over there. It's so nuts. So, it's sad, man. Yeah, both CME gaps did get filled too. And we had the options expiry too, which won't happen, I believe, until the end of July. So, we've got through some sketchy times. Jerome Powell, I think, is done talking to, and he's done the damage he was going to do. It's over. We can finally breathe. So, we're going to be looking for the signal. We're going to be watching. It is a Tuesday, right? One of my favorite days to trade, you know. However, I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, most people are going to dial it down. Most people aren't going to trade this week. So remember that. So there's going to be less volume in the market. So just be very, very careful because of that. And I don't know what's going to happen. It's looking pretty weird. I have to be honest with you. You know what? I can tell you one thing. If the 4-hour loses that 200 moving average, if the 4-hour decides to lose the 200, that's going to be probably more downside. If we can stay above it, this bounce is intact, we're going to get above the 1 minute. So here's the deal. We're either going to lose the 200 on the 4-hour, and it's going to be a worse day. We're going to regain the 200 on the 1 minute, make flags, and somehow build ourselves out of this. So there's two scenarios. Right now, the bearish scenario is in play because you have to flip the 200 here first. But we also have some support holding us on the 4. So we're in between, but it's pretty sketchy. You see? It's pretty sketchy. And I wouldn't even think of getting long until we get above this yellow line on the 1 minute time frame, which is the 200 moving average. Okay. So you do what you want here tonight or today, but be careful. Also, just kind of nasty resistance at 106, 181. We will see. So you know my strategy. I'll be putting it out there, and I'll be fine-tuning exactly what I'm doing later on, because it's not that easy to figure out even when you do know it, right? You got to see kind of what I'm doing. But stay tuned for more. I'll be doing them, having a blast with each and every one of you, and we'll have some fun. So do not give up on yourself. Do not give up on this market. That's what they want you to do. If you're capitulating, that's exactly what they wanted you to do. If you're falling off, that's exactly what they wanted you to do. If you can't be consistent, that's exactly what they want you to do. They want to shake you out of here. They'll be consistently shaking you out. You got to stay consistently convicted. Amen. You know, when I look at something, I make up my mind and I stick to it. Everybody, I love you. God bless you all. Have a wonderful day. Be safe. This is chop trading. Be careful. Do not push yourselves to trade if you don't feel, you know, and I didn't overtrade. Actually, what I see now, look, I see something in the market I got to show you. You know, almost, look, a shoulder, head, right shoulder there. I don't know, man. In between. Let's get this bounce, man. We got a nice V-shaped recovery there. Let's get this continuation. Let's get above that 1 minute, 200 moving average. One step at a time. One candle at a time. That's what I always say. I have no idea what's going to happen. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. I just show up every day, and we go from there. Everybody, I love you. I appreciate you. Through the summer, no days off. 4 live streams, 6 live streams. We did the monthly candle close. We have not stopped. This is my first night off in 3 nights. I love you all. God bless you. I'll see you later. Have a great day. Thank you. And remember, the secret to success is getting started. Stay squared up like Christine Lagarde.